Good morning again, friends. It is time to continue our reading of First Samuel. Good morning, Mom. Please do take a moment to post a greeting, share a comment, hit the like button on this video, share with friends. So let's start as we always do by taking a look at the big picture here. Remember, 1 Samuel and 2 Samuel originally were one book, and so they are shown in this big picture as such. We're reading through 1 Samuel, and so let's zoom in here. 1 Samuel. We are even more specific than that in this in this longest section of 1 Samuel, which goes from chapters 8 through 31, which began with the introduction of Saul and the arch is there for Saul's lifeline, his rise and his decline, David's lifeline, his rise and his decline. It's not quite so nice, neat, and tidy. David's rise does not begin at the height of Saul's lifeline. David does not come along at the peak when things are the best. David comes along after Saul's demise has already started. You see, David's coming to be recognized and his increase is because of the fact that he has been chosen by God after the rejection of Saul in place of Saul. So we are already at the point where the best that has been for Saul has been. And Saul's lifeline is on the decrease. We've not yet come to the introduction of David yet, but we're not far off from that. We are late in chapter 14. We're going to be resuming at verse 47 of chapter 14 this morning. So here we are down here. Proud Saul is brought low in chapters 13 and 15. We're in chapter 14. Oh, yeah, here it comes. And we've experienced it already. Let's make this just a bit bigger. Not much, just a bit. Okay. Pull up the reading windows and the timer. And while I'm getting the timer in place, friends, let me explain. If you've seen these videos, you know how this works. The left-hand column is the complete Jewish Bible. We're reading Hebrew scriptures, 1 Samuel. So we're reading for them from the Jewish biblical tradition. The right-hand column has the text of the New Revised Standard Version updated edition. The right-hand column, the Christian biblical text, I will use primarily, most likely only to explain differences in Jewish biblical language for persons, places, and things. and how they sometimes differ from our Christian biblical language. Verse 47, that's where we're starting. So yeah, we're late in chapter 14. We won't be in chapter 14 for long. Let's scroll down and let's read verse 47. Yeah. There it is. Yep. Verse 47. Let's read. So Saul, took over the rulership of Israel. He fought against all his enemies on every side. Against Moab, the people of Ammon, the Ammonites, Edom, the kings of Zobah, and the Plishtim, the Philistines. He demonstrated his strength by attacking Amalek, the Amalekites. And he saved Israel from the power of those who were plundering them. The sons of Shaul were Johanatan, Yishvi, and Malchishua. Jonathan, Ishvi, and Malchishua. That sounds, just the spelling's different. Well, the names of his two daughters were these. The name of the older, Merab, and the younger, Michal. Saul's wife was named Ahinoam, the daughter of Ahimaaz. The commander of his army was named Abner, the son of Ner, Shaul's uncle. Abner is Abner. Kish was the father of Shaul, and Ner the father of Abner was the son of Abiel. As long as Shaul lived, there was bitter war against the Plishtim. Whenever Shaul saw any strong or courageous man, he recruited him into his service. Remember that line. Samuel, said to Shaul, Adonai sent me to anoint you king over Israel. Now listen to what Adonai has to say. Here is what Adonai Tzevaot, the Lord of hosts, says. I remember what Amalek did to Israel, how they fought against Israel when they were coming up from Egypt. Now go and attack Amalek and completely destroy everything they have. Don't spare them, but kill men and women, children and babies, cows and sheep, camels and donkeys. Shaul summoned the people and reviewed them in Telaim. Telem. 200,000 foot soldiers with another 10,000 men from Yehuda, Judah. Shaul arrived at the city of Amalek and lay in wait in the valley. Shaul said to the Kenites, "Go away, withdraw, leave your homes there with the Amaleki. Otherwise, I might destroy you along with them, even though you were kind to all the people of Israel when they came out of Egypt." So the Keni went away from among the Amaleki. Then Shaul attacked Amalek, starting at Havilah and continuing towards Shur at the border of Egypt. He took Agag, the king of the Amalek, alive, but he completely destroyed the people, putting them to the sword. However, Shaul and the people spared Agag, along with the best of the sheep and cattle, and even the second best, also the lambs and everything that was good. They weren't inclined to destroy these things. But everything that was worthless or weak, they completely destroyed. Then the word of Adonai came to Shmuel. "I regret setting up Shaul as king because he has turned back from following me and hasn't obeyed my orders." This made Shmuel very sad. Interesting there, isn't it? Look, side by side, verse 11. The left-hand column, Shmuel is very sad. Right-hand column, Shmuel, was angry. Sad, angry. That's an interesting combination, isn't it? It's probably a little bit of both. So that he cried to Adonai all night. Shmuel got up early in the morning to meet Shaul. However, Shmuel was told Shaul came to Carmel to set up a monument for himself there, but now he has left and is on his way down to Gilgal. Shmuel went to Shaul. Shaul said to him, "May Adonai bless you. I have done what Adonai ordered." But Shmuel answered, "If so, why do I hear sheep bleating and cows mooing?" Shaul said, "They brought them from the Amaleki, because the people spared the best of the sheep and cattle to sacrifice to Adonai your God, for we completely destroyed the rest." Then Shmuel said to Shaul, "Stop. I'm going to tell you what Adonai said to me last night." He said, "Speak." Shmuel then said, "You may be small in your own sight, but you are head of the tribes of Israel. Adonai anointed you king over Israel. Now Adonai sent you on a mission and told you, go and completely destroy Amalek, those sinners. Keep making war on them until they have been exterminated. Why did you seize the spoil instead of paying attention to what Adonai said? From Adonai's viewpoint, you have done an evil thing." Shaul said to Shmuel, I did too pay attention to what Adonai said, and I carried out the mission on which Adonai sent me. I brought back Agag, the king of Amalek, and I completely destroyed Amalek. But the people took some of the spoil, the best of the sheep and cattle set aside for destruction, to sacrifice to Adonai your God in Gilgal. Shmuel said, Does Adonai take as much pleasure in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying what Adonai says? Surely obeying is better than sacrifice, and heeding orders than the fat of rams. For rebellion is like the sin of sorcery, stubbornness like the crime of idolatry. Because you have rejected the word of Adonai, he too has rejected you as king. Shaul said to Samuel, I have sinned, I have violated the order of Adonai and your words too, because I was afraid of the people and listened to what they said. Now please pardon my sin and come back with me so that I can worship Adonai. But Shmuel said to Shaul, I will not go back with you because you have rejected the word of Adonai, and Adonai has rejected you as king over Israel. As Shmuel was turning around to leave, he took hold of the hem of his cloak, and it tore. Shmuel said to him, Adonai has torn the kingdom of Israel away from you, and given it to a fellow countryman of yours who is better than you. Moreover, the Eternal One of Israel will not lie or change his mind, because he isn't a mere human being subject to changing his mind. Then Shaul said, I have sinned, but in spite of that, please show me respect now before the leaders of my people and before Israel by coming back with me so that I can worship Adonai your God. So Shmuel followed Shaul back, and Shaul worshipped Adonai. Friends, we're going to pause there. And next time that we pick up 1 Samuel. Chapter 15, verse 32. We're so close to David, so very close. Chapter 15, verse 32. That's where we will start next time. And good morning, Audrey. Thank you, friends, for reading with us. Have a blessed day. Peace be with you.